Good evening from Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Matthew Alvarez on this Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. You're looking live, of course, at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the beautiful White House, where tonight in the East Room, quite the night. President Trump actually just speaking about the night on Truth Social. We'll get to that in just a second. But as you see there, it's the National Governors Association dinner and reception. So President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump will attend this event. President Trump literally 20 minutes ago saying, Melania and I are looking forward to dinner tonight at the White House with our nation's governors, both Republican and Democrat. Maybe this will be the start of unity for our nation. It will be interesting and fun. So President Trump speaking about tonight's coverage right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. As soon as we get that live feed into the East Room, we'll be going there to capture the moments of the evening. We'll see if the president and maybe even the First Lady would deliver any remarks. We'll have that for you. And also, again, it's a dinner and reception, so this might be kind of a relaxing night. So welcome to Saturday coverage here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for watching all of the CPAC coverage all 3 days up until today, of course, the last day where President Trump, with that amazing speech, really covering all the bases there, talking about, cabinet picks and talking about all of the things that he accomplished in that first month. Again, in 33 days, there were 75 executive orders signed. We're told that's quadruple the amount that Obama signed in the same period of time and double the amount Biden signed in the same amount of time. And as we know, the executive orders on the left side of the aisle, not good for the American people, but on the right side of the aisle, they are based in that common sense. And President Trump, of course, saying we are a common sense party, or we're a party of common sense. And that's what we, the people, are looking forward to in this administration and hopefully beyond into the future. So it is now 6:48 Eastern Time. Looking forward to seeing this live picture from inside the East Room of the White House. Quite awesome to see the amount of people at CPAC, by the way. I mean, Dan Scavino Jr., we have a clip of that interview we may be able to play for you. It just depends on how soon we'll get in there to the East Room. So we'll all kind of be invited to the get-together live right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. So Dan Scavino Jr. bringing a lot of insight of what it's like to be around President Trump. I mean, he's known him for 3 decades, starting out as a caddy in golf, and from there, the rest was history and is still going on because when you have loyalty, but when you also have someone that is on the same page when it comes to our country, somebody that gets it like Dan Scavino Jr. does, you have what you have, a very successful person and an assistant at the White House, of course, assistant to President Trump, also specifically a deputy chief of staff as well. So he's got quite the title and quite the access there to the leader of the free world. And does he not cover it great when it comes to various, inside access or behind the scenes when it comes to the president, which it's great, again, to have that transparency for the leader, not having someone that's just, not caring about what he's signing and getting told what to say and all that. Well, that's not President Trump, and we know that, and that's awesome to see. But also all of the cabinet picks. I mean, look at what the FBI director, Kash Patel, said. I know the FBI director position as the FBI is outside of the cabinet, but still the director said, I am living the American dream. We will uphold the Constitution. We will uphold ourselves to the Constitution. So those words from the FBI director, Kash Patel, just yesterday. We saw that coverage here as well, right on Right Side Broadcasting Network yesterday. A lot of coverage just on the last day of the week. But with President Trump, it seems as if, even if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, it's a regular work day, because why wouldn't you go all out the way he's going? I mean, he's been through so much. And you can tell in today's speech that he is at that perfect position of, I'm going to take care of business and I don't care what anybody says. And the thing that's awesome about that is when he's taking care of business, this isn't from a dictatorship type of way. This is not from a communist or socialist or evil dictator avenue at all. It has nothing to do with those things, but everything to do with the right side of history and all of the common sense that we need in this country. It's pretty simple. We saw what was happening on the southern border. Well, President Trump now saying today, this morning, we'll get to some of those quotes on Truth Social from this morning, saying that the southern border is closed. You know, that is a very simple thing. That's a very common sense thing to do, is to say, okay, we have an invasion of illegal aliens. They're coming into our country. We don't know who they are. They're committing crimes. They're bringing in fentanyl. They're just overloading our system here. And then the leftist government was like, well, let's just give them money and just, hey, come on in. Why not? Oh, we don't know who you are. Who cares? Well, that's not what happened now with President Trump. He had the common sense to say, well, let me get somebody that's a bulldog, namely Tom Homan, the border czar, who, if you heard the CPAC speech today, was quite on fire with his speech there. It was quite awesome to hear from Tom Homan. So it's those kind of policies that we see with President Trump. Now, again, outside of the president, these are things that I believe all of us, at least the majority of the country, want to see happen. So it happens to be that we have a leader of the free world, someone that loves the country, loves we the people, and is the representative of the entire nation that is standing up for those values of freedom and of the Constitution. So it's great to see that line up beautifully, this 47th president of the United States. And also, one thing that was caught my ear earlier when it comes to people speaking at CPAC, earlier today, the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, spoke at CPAC. It was a great speech. If you missed any of that coverage, all you have to do is maybe after this live broadcast, go to the Day 3 CPAC coverage and check out what she said during that speech. It was quite awesome, a great world leader speech that was in line and is in line with the free world and free nations and the people of the world, regardless if they're under a dictatorship or under some ruler that thinks that they're going to keep stomping down on the people. The people of the world love to hear messages like Giorgia Meloni's today, just like President Trump's today. She said, quote, happiness depends on freedom and freedom depends on courage. And does that not sum up President Trump and we the people over the past few years here? We had to have the courage. If President Trump folded and was weak and couldn't hack it, he wouldn't have been able to do what he's doing right now. We would have somebody else in office. It would be a real, you know what kind of show. And now, because of President Trump's courage, and which also encouraged the American people, it encouraged me. I don't know about you, but I'm surely encouraged by the strength of President Trump, the leadership of the president. I know at the end of the day, I have to, have my faith in God. I have to be gritty when times get tough, and we all go through our journeys in life, but we overcome things, and we don't quit, and we don't give up. And then it's funny because President Trump says the same things. Don't give up, keep going, work hard. And sometimes it takes a minute for us to understand that lesson, but when you get that lesson and when you find what you're made to do on this earth, it is a beautiful thing, especially if you have God at the top. So again, happiness depends on freedom and freedom depends on courage. So that from, again, the Prime Minister of Italy, she said that earlier, and that courage, Mike Lindell speaks about a lot. He goes, courage is contagious. He said that a million times, but it's good to repeat truth because it really sinks into people. Sometimes it might not be what's taught, it's what's caught. You really catch it that, man, you're right, courage is contagious. If somebody else is courageous, I can do this too. And it's, we the people of lions instead of sheeple just following whatever they tell us to do, right? But now we know with the great leadership under President Trump that, hey, freedom is back. America is back. Though right now it's only 33 days in, we're really seeing great things happen. The light has shone into the darkness that we were seeing under the previous administration and under what the radicals wanted to do, the extremists to this country that wanted to tear this country down and make us all submit to some leader. That's not what's happening. President Trump isn't making anybody submit. You have a choice to vote, and we made it happen where it was too big to rig. President Trump is standing there for us, we the people. So it's pretty awesome to see that. Those are facts, and I would say that whether at Right Side Broadcasting Network or to a friend or to a family member, I mean, that's what it is all about. We know that that's what's true. So again, happiness depends on freedom, and freedom depends on courage. So Time to be courageous, even though right now it seems like a time where we can enjoy. Well, yes, we can. We're going to enjoy tonight. I mean, President Trump, again, on Truth Social said, quote, Melania and I are looking forward to dinner tonight at the White House with our nation's governors, both Republican and Democrat. Maybe this will be the start of unity for our nation. It will be interesting and fun, and a few exclamation points after that. So it's a great balance to have. And we've seen that even with President Trump under so many terrible situations, that he is still able to deal with everything getting thrown at him, and then he'd still have comedy in a speech, or he'd still make people laugh, or he'd still joke around. Remember when he jokes around, like making fun of Joe Biden sometimes? I mean, some people might not like that, but I like it. It's funny. I mean, acting like where Joe was on the stage and how he'd point and do all the stuff that he would do at these speeches. I mean, that's funny stuff. Talking about Crooked Joe today. I mean, this is the stuff that we like as people because we resonate with laughter and comedy. It's great, you know, and the amount of trolling, it is what it is. Like, he does it, and it's funny. And how about the old school President Trump the other day? I think it was just yesterday. All the days are mixing together with the amount of coverage we have here at the network. But when he told the Maine governor basically what's up, he really set her straight. And it was a clip that's been heard all across the country, and for those English-speaking nations around the world, or even translated around the world, how he handled that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, all you have to do is watch the governor's kind of meeting that they had with the president. It was kind of a luncheon, and we have that on Rumble, but it was about the no men and women's sports and how the federal government has banned that and how the NCAA has banned that. But there are some states, and I believe it's Maine, and I heard California, but I'll stick to Maine for now because that's what I'm talking about. But the Maine governor is saying, well, we're going to stick with state and federal law, and President Trump goes, well, we are the law, like that he is part of the federal government, the executive branch. And man, it was quite interesting to hear how President Trump handled that, and it was perfect. All right, so it's 6:58 p.m. Let's do this. Why don't we go back to CPAC real quick from one of President Trump's excerpts from his speech. Again, producer, you said that was ready? Okay, let's do that. Let's go to a part of President Trump's speech from just a few hours ago.
Under the Trump administration, every day brings more good news for America. I've ended all of the so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the entire federal government and the private sector, and notified every single government DEI officer that their job has been deleted. They're gone. They're fired. You're fired. Get out. You're fired. I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. That was easy. I banned men from competing in women's sports. And I also proudly banned the use of, thank you. We banned the use of puberty blockers, hormone injections, and other chemical and surgical mutilation of your youth. Could you imagine making a speech like this 10 years ago? People would say, what the hell is he talking about, right? This is a sickness that came along with critical race theory and all of the other things that we had to put up with. And it's all out now, critical race theory and transgender insanity. It's all gone from our schools and from our military. And I believe it's gone, too. I think we've turned the heads of even the people that, if you can believe they're believers, I don't know if they were, but I believe that it's all gone. And I've directed the reinstatement of any service member who was expelled from the armed forces due to the COVID vaccine mandate. They will be returned to their former rank with full back pay. Full back pay. I banned government censorship from your voices and brought back free speech in America. We have free speech. We didn't have free speech. We do have it now, actually. Now, this was a very vicious regime, you know. I was put under investigation more so than the late, great Alphonse Capone, one of the great killers of the world. Trump, my father would look down my mother. How the hell did this happen to my boy? This was no, I was under investigation at a far greater level than Al Capone or anybody else, probably in the history of our country. These people are sick. They're sick. They're bad people. I ended Joe Biden's weaponization as soon as I got in. I said, I'm going to hit him with the same stuff. But I ended his whole weaponization of our government and removed his hand-picked radical left Marxist prosecutors from the Department of Justice. I was so happy to do that. They weaponized government. They weaponized government. I pardoned hundreds and hundreds of Biden's political prisoners, including Christians, pro-life activists, and the J6 hostages who were treated terribly for years. We even got rid of people like Pete Buttigieg, who did the worst job of anybody in the history of transportation. What a bunch of losers. I revoked the security clearances of Anthony Blinken, Jake Sullivan, John Brennan, James Clapper, and every non-patriot who lied to cover up Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. We took away their security clearances. And they're not allowed to enter any government building either. I also revoked Joe Biden's security clearances, the Biden crime family security clearances, and they'll no longer be allowed to access state secrets while selling themselves all around the world. Oh, well. Now, these were bad people. These were bad people. And I do that because this should never be allowed to happen again. What happened to me in this administration, what happened on J6, what happened on all of the things they did that were so bad, should never, ever be allowed to happen again. And on a friendlier note, I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And we are restoring the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley in Alaska. And as you know, many years ago, Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal. And Panama started the process of giving the Panama Canal, by the way, the most expensive development ever in the history of our country, relatively. It would have been $1.5 trillion in today's dollars. 38,000 people died from our country building the Panama Canal. They died from mosquitoes and snakes. Think of it. They paid them 5 times their salary. They brought them to Panama, and they had a 25% chance of dying. They dug under nets so the mosquitoes wouldn't get them. But we lost 38,000, mostly men, laborers, construction workers, because it was such a harsh way to live. It was very brutal. They died. 38,000. Again, it was the most expensive thing we ever built, and they gave it away for $1 to Panama. And last year it made $5 billion. Also, that's one of the most successful projects ever built in terms of money, monetarily. And it's the 8th wonder of the world. It connects 2 oceans, with one being 16 feet higher than the other. Think of it, the Pacific and the Atlantic. Think of what that is. You're going through dikes and canals. Amazing what they did. It was really a wonder of the world. We gave it away for nothing. But we didn't give it to China. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama. We're going to take back the Panama Canal. In a matter of weeks, we have restored America's pride, America's confidence, and America's spirit. Under
So,
the
I mean,
Trump
you saw that
administration,
earlier
every
today,
day
the great
brings
speech by
more
President Trump.
good
If
news
you
for
guys missed
America.
any
I've
of
ended
his,
all of the
great
so-called
speech at
diversity,
the
equity,
CPAC
and
conference,
inclusion
you could
programs
actually
across the
go
entire
at the
federal
end of this one
government.
if you'd like. Go
And
to
the private
CPAC
sector.
Day 3 coverage right here on Lakeside Broadcasting Network.
And
if you'd
notified
like to
every
check
single
out some of the
government
interviews
DEI.
that Robert McNeely, Ashley Brassfield, Christina Loren, our RSBN hosts who were there at National Harbor, Maryland. You can check out some of those interviews, and also you can scrub ahead if you'd like to go see the president's interview or the president's speech there, because it was one of those that really sums up the past 33 days in office for President Trump, and those 75 executive orders that are all based in the campaign promises that he had over the campaign season. So we're seeing it before our eyes right now. I know it's a lot to take in, but really at the end of the day, one way you can really take it all in is check out various events that we have on our Rumble page and our various social platforms to kind of keep track of everything that's happening, because again, this is the amount of executive orders in the same period of time. Barack Obama, President Trump over Barack Obama, 40 or quadruple the amount of executive orders in the same time period, and double the amount over Biden. So 75 executive orders, again, all based in the campaign trail promises. So that's what we've been covering here nonstop since January 20th. Of course, prior to January 20th, there was still coverage happening here at the network, and not only various rallies and victory speeches on November 5th, and just so many events. Even if you rewind the past half year, 2 years, it's been so much live footage, live events, a lot of many of you maybe that have been out there at the rallies. I know I've been at some of them. Robert and others have been at them too, and we are interviewing so many people. I mean, the amount of voices that we've heard on this network of people that are just saying, you know what? Hey, I'm an everyday American. I want this, or I want to see that. I want to see the border closed. I want more law and order. I want more safety. These are basic things. I mean, you're not going to hear rocket science from me, to be honest, because I have no idea how to put a rocket together. Let's leave that to Elon. But you will hear from me and others that we love freedom. We love the Constitution. I know you hear that a lot here, but that's really what it's about. And I know that's what resonates with you. So that's what we're about here at the network. So looking forward to covering all sorts of stories here, but also everything in that DC Beltway, inside 395 there, at the White House, the Pentagon, the State Department, anywhere really, Doge. I mean, so much going on. All of it brought to you by today's broadcast, MyPillow. So mypillow.com/RSBN for some great discounts. You know, Mike Lindell got an awesome shout out today from the president at the CPAC speech. Really took a lot of time to thank Mike Lindell for all the hard work that he has been doing over the years for election integrity and security, and also just being that voice continually out there pushing a perfect, true narrative of, hey, guess what, 2020, you know what happened in 2020, right? He kept at it, and a lot of people heard what he had to say, and on top of that, he comes from a great place of faith, and just what a journey that he has been on. So I know I'm supposed to talk about MyPillow, but indirectly we'll get right back to that. We'll keep it right there if we can. The journey that he's on, talk about somebody that didn't give up. He hit rock bottom so hard, and some of us in life, we've hit our rock bottom, and what do you do at that point? The only way is forward. So talk about encouragement. Talk about courage is contagious. He's the guy that is the one that says it all the time. So, man, he made it, and he's doing great. He's married, got a great business. He's got a lot going on. And that can happen for you in whatever industry you're in, or however you want to see that in your life. It's just encouraging to see Mike go through so much, but then to have Jesus save him, pull him out of that thing, and really go for it, for God and for his natural talents that he has. So, all right, so having said all that, why not buy something from him? MyPillow.com/RSBN. So many products, more than 2,000 products at MyPillow. So go ahead and check it out. Surf the net, as they said back in the day. Just go ahead and surf and check it out, and maybe purchase a few things on MyPillow.com/RSBN. All right, so it's 7:10 Eastern Time. You're looking live at the White House, of course. We'll be getting a feed to the East Room to watch and experience this evening dinner and reception where President Trump and the First Lady are attending. This is the National Governors Association evening dinner and reception inside the East Room. Now, every governor, or at least most of the governors, are going to be there, Republican and Democrat. There's one governor I don't think is going to be there, and she might be somebody that's up in the area of Maine, northeast, of the country. I don't think she's going to be showing up there, but if she does, that'd be interesting. President Trump earlier today on Truth Social said the highest poll numbers ever. He goes, "I guess we are on the right track. Thank you." Very true right there with that. President Trump also 11 hours ago, but it was just this morning, said, "Elon is doing a great job, but I would like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, but ultimately to make greater than ever before." And then he said MAGA at the end of that. Now, I was actually thinking, that leads me to my next point. I was thinking about how we are working to save our country or to save America. And to me, what that means is to save we the people from tyrannical ways and to save us from that kind of government and to restore the Constitution and freedom for us. So when we hear we have to save our country or we have to save America, that's my interpretation of it, is to save us, the actual people of this land, because without us, there's no country, right? So with we the people, it's saving us from losing our freedoms, losing the Constitution, losing all of that stuff under a tyrannical empire. Well, we know that good wins, and good always wins in the end, and we know the end of the book, the Bible. We know we win in the end, but until then, we still have to, obviously pray hard, but work hard and run for office, whether it's local, state, or federal government, and to do the best we can on this side as well. So we have that beautiful balance of pray hard, but really work hard too. And when you bring those things together, some great things happen out there. It definitely works when you do both of those things, working hard and praying hard. But anyway, to that point, again, saving we the people from tyranny and returning it to the Constitution and freedom for our land. So pretty cool to think about these kind of things when we hear things like save our country or save America. What really does that mean? Also, the sixth hostage has just been released by Hamas. President Trump speaking about that. He also spoke about, and it's really tough to talk about these kind of things, but he was talking about how some of the hostages, it was just their bodies being returned. And we know that Hamas and any of the people that kill others, especially because they don't believe the way you believe, like that terrorist organization thing, I've heard it said before, to eradicate Hamas. To take them out and take them away. I mean, this is not something that we need on this earth, and we never did need it, but we know that President Trump has his eye on all of that, and he has done surgical strikes, precision airstrikes that he's talked about on Truth Social before. So we'll monitor any of that kind of development. I haven't heard anything like that's going to happen or anything, but I'm just saying we've seen that in the recent past here. So monitoring that kind of thing. But President Trump talking about that, the fact that the sixth hostage has just been released by Hamas. And then, of course, we saw President Trump, of course, talk about CPAC today with our Rumble coverage. So pretty awesome to see all of that. Of course, he was talking about Laura Trump as well, having her show tonight. So, yeah, there's a lot going on, and we're covering it here at Right Side. So as soon as we get that feed to the East Room, we'll go there. In the meantime, let's go to President Trump for just about maybe a minute 15 seconds from earlier at CPAC.
The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing. The illegal alien criminals are being sent home. We're draining the swamp and we're restoring government by the people, for the people. For years, Washington was controlled by a sinister group of radical left Marxists, warmongers, and corrupt special interests who drained our wealth, attacked our liberties, obliterated our borders, and sucked our country dry. Not any longer. But on November 5th, we stood up to all the corrupt forces that were destroying America. We took away their power. We took away their confidence. They lost their confidence. You know, do you ever watch? They lost their confidence. Oh, it's so nice to watch. And we took back our country. And we must be doing something right because we've got the highest poll numbers that I've ever had and that any Republican president has ever had.
So
The
again, if you are
fraudsters,
just joining
liars,
us now and you want to
cheaters.
see the speech in full from earlier today, all you have to do is when this broadcast ends, you can go over on Rumble or wherever you'd like to watch and click on the day 3 of CPAC, and then President Trump's speech is at the end of that feed. But might as well catch a lot of the great coverage and commentary and in-depth analysis and interviews from RSBN's Robert McNeely, Ashley Brassfield, and Christina Loren as well. You know, it's pretty cool, like, to see that kind of camaraderie here at this network and how we are able to connect and resonate with you guys, because that's what we want. We want that connection with you. And those of you that are the loyal viewers of Right Side Broadcasting Network that have been watching us for years, those of you that have been watching us for 9 straight years, thank you. That is awesome. But I think the reason why, of course, is because number one, this is a network that always would show the full speech of President Trump, always show the crowds. And it was a great idea by our founder and owner here at the network. You know, he was saying, you know what, let's make sure we do something that the other networks aren't doing. Because President Trump would always call it out. He'd say, they're not showing the crowds, they're not turning the cameras around. And we weren't used to seeing something like that from a president or someone running for president back in 2015. You're not used to seeing somebody of that caliber speaking so frankly and so real and so common sense, common sense delivery like that, talking about the fake news press and, oh, look at those cameras back there. And, Joe Seals was like, well, no, let's do this. And then look what has happened since then. Amazing things have happened here at this network. And also, it's funny when President Trump talks about that red light. You see that red light's going to turn off back there when he starts making a really good point to the fake news. So, yeah, I mean, this is a different time now. It's media reform. So we see our country being reformed in the right direction. You know, Elon Musk talks a lot about that this country is undergoing a major reform. You know, the people voted for major government reform. President Trump talked about Reform UK today with Nigel Farage being in attendance. This whole reform word, we're getting reformed back to what we were our roots in the sense of the good stuff of the Constitution and the truth and common sense for our nation, for all people of this land, and law and order and peace and safety and health and wealth and our constitutional rights and less government and stronger government and a strong military, all of these things that we want as people in this land. I mean, anybody, you ask anybody, if say all of us took a trip, say we went down to Brazil, say we went to Hungary, say we went to Japan, China, anywhere. Let's say we went to China and we talked to the people there. They would say, man, I don't tell this to the people that are watching or listening to us right now, but we wish we didn't have a social credit score. We wish we could have freedom like you guys do. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And that's what was great to hear from the Prime Minister of Italy today at CPAC via a satellite, a live picture there, speaking to the people and saying, quote, happiness depends on freedom and freedom depends on courage. You know, and seeing the amount of people that are on this team freedom thing is just it's just amazing. It's amazing. And it's wild to be a part of coverage like this as we are realizing that this president is the George Washington of our time. This is someone that is the real deal, and it's awesome. It's like we could breathe a sigh of relief a little bit because we saw the past 33 days, how awesome that was. But we saw what it was like leading up to the November 5th election, and those were some scary times. We saw what happened to President Trump through the lawfare and through J13 in Butler, Pennsylvania. We saw those things, and it was a real turbulent time. And so right now, just like in an airplane, when there's a little bit of turbulence, it's not fun. Nobody likes turbulence. But when you keep at it, you keep believing, 99.999% of the time, probably 100% of the time, you make it through that. And it's smooth sailing a bit more. You can feel less turbulence going on right now. It's nice to feel that. So let's keep that going by faith, by prayer, by working hard, by staying vigilant, staying strong, and keep on keeping on. And keep supporting the right people in various offices around our land, local, state government, federal government and on. So next week on the 26th, on Wednesday night, actually Wednesday during the day, President Trump will have his first cabinet meeting. This according to the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt. So that'll be awesome to see the president meet with his cabinet. Right now, there are still 4 people yet to be confirmed and the final vote in the Senate. So we've gone over those names a few times here, but we're going to keep going over it to make sure we see them go to their next level, which is Elise Stefanik, who spoke at CPAC today, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, waiting for that final vote. Linda McMahon for the Secretary of Education. Lori Chavez de Reamer, the Secretary of Labor. And Jamieson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative. So that's who we're waiting on at this point, but not them specifically. We're waiting on the Senate to get that done. So that cabinet meeting is all systems go with the commander-in-chief in charge, doing his thing. He's a natural at this whole thing. You think about it, he was made for this time as a president. All of the experience where the media was doing whatever they did back in the day when he was a real estate mogul and learning under his father and doing all those great things in New York and now having golf courses and hotels and all the things he has around this country and around the world. All of the things that he has gone through and seen and experienced with high levels of whether it's really known people or not so much. I mean, at the end of the day, he has so much experience just in the business aspect. And then you go through The Apprentice. He's there and he gets the entertainment factor. But when you are built for it and you have it as a natural born leader, and then you have the right things in mind and heart for the people, enter 2015. Who knew that it would be 2025, 10 years later, and he's the president now? I mean, that's mind-boggling. But all of those experiences in his first administration, all the hoaxes, all the Russia, remember all that? Ukraine, all that crap that he faced? He overcame all of that. And then the 4 years while we had a fake president in because the election got taken from us, all right, we know that happened. He still had to go through all of that. And he was standing there for all of us. And that was just awesome to see. Then he goes through all the lawfare, April 4th of 2023. I remember it to this day because I traveled to New York and I saw what that was like. All the media, all the people, it was just wild. Getting charges filed and indicted and all this. What? And then on top of that, then you go to J13 in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I was sitting here right here with a number of you that are watching right now. The monitor that's what you can't see on TV right now is right below the camera. So when I look down, I'm looking at another monitor. And if you ever watch that footage again, I couldn't even look at the camera. I had to look at what the heck was going on in Butler. I couldn't believe it. Then he stood up and said, "Fight, fight, fight." Man, that was powerful. And I saw a video on YouTube. You know how sometimes you're going on shorts? It's called shorts, right? You're flipping through. And there was a video of when the Secret Service were holding President Trump and bringing him down. And President Trump still put his fist in the air right before he got into that SUV. After he already put his fist in the air on the stage. And you heard the following things from people as he went by with the Secret Service huddled around him. They said, "We love you, Trump. We love you, Trump. We're with you, Trump." That's the real stuff we're talking about. That's the stuff that we desire in this country. The real, authentic, genuine stuff. And it is so good to be out of the mainstream media and to be in conservative media. We all have an opportunity to share the real stuff with you, the people. Sometimes I might not be able to say it that clearly. I'm not reading from a teleprompter right now. But that's exactly what we're doing. And this is what we're going to do all the way into the future. This administration and on. Conservative media is here to stay because freedom is here to stay. People around this world and this country want freedom. They always will. So we have to have a conservative media that is going to be the voice of the people and stand with courage day in and day out. It doesn't, you can't just do that because, okay, I want to be known. I'm going to stand and have courage. You know what it's like to be able to talk like this and what we've heard with all of our other hosts here at the network, to be able to speak this truth day in and day out in the face of all this mainstream media and all this craziness in the world? Who cares? When you go through certain things in your own life, you're made for the moment as well. And I believe that's what's happened to me as well. Through all of the mainstream media and all the things that I've seen, and being at the White House, and I've been to the Pentagon, and I've seen these newsrooms from the BBC in London to Fox to CNN in New York, Atlanta. Met all these people, okay? I don't talk about this a lot, but I'm being real tonight. Why not? Saturday night. So when you go through those experiences and you've shaken the hands of Barack Obama, George Bush, and you think that George Bush is this guy that's conservative, he's a good dude, and then you realize all of this stuff that was lies and lies and lies and lies and just poured into your brain in college, and you go through all this stuff, and then you realize they've been lying to us this whole time. That's what you call coming out of the conservative closet, right? So I was able to leave the mainstream media and be able to come here now with all of you watching, and also to be around people like Bobby McNeely and Christina Loren and Ashley Brassfield, these people that are not just doing this for their health. It's great to have a job, trust me. But we're really doing this because if we have a certain talent or gifting that we want to use through communication and our voice and bringing news to you, that's what we're doing. We're using our gifts and talents. Trust me, many of you in your industries out there, I don't know how to do a lot of that stuff. But you guys probably wouldn't know how to do some of this. Maybe you could, I don't know. It is what it is. But just know this, we're dedicated to being the voice of you guys and a voice of the people for this country. Moving forward as long as we are around. That's my commitment. That's Right Side's commitment. It's the bottom of the hour. Whew. Awaiting President Trump and the First Lady at the National Governors Association dinner. So this is going to be quite awesome. President Trump talking about it a little bit earlier on Truth Social. President Trump saying, Melania and I are looking forward to dinner tonight at the White House with our nation's governors, both Republican and Democrat. Maybe this will be the start of unity for our nation. It will be interesting and fun, end quote. President Trump earlier today, actually in the past 30 minutes on Truth Social. All right, so let's do this. As we await the feed to the East Room for this dinner and reception, which we'll bring you live as soon as we get it, what we'll do is we're going to go to Dan Scavino Jr. He is an assistant to the president, a deputy chief of staff to the president, has known the president for more than 3 decades. Talk about someone that is on point and loyal, but he's on point. That's more important, I think, to be on point. Loyalty is great, but you have to be on point too. And I think that comes, same, right? That's why Dan Scavino is around President Trump so much, because he's a loyal guy and he is also on point. Let's listen in to some of the inside stories that you just don't hear every day from Dan Scavino Jr. And if the live feed starts up in the East Room of the White House, we'll take you there live, even in the middle of this speech. This is Dan Scavino Jr. from earlier today at CPAC.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let's go. It's a great honor to be here. Mercedes and Matt, thank you very much, and congratulations on everything that you've accomplished with CPAC over the years. And again, it's a great honor. I'm truly humbled to be here. Thank you. I have 2 words for all of you. I said this before. I don't speak a lot publicly. I like being the behind-the-scenes guy doing my job. I'm not a public speaker. I don't often come out and speak. But when I do, I speak from the heart. I have a lot of passion. I had the option for teleprompters. I said, no, thank you. I just wanted to come and say a few words and say 2 words. We're back! USA! 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 Let's go. Again, thank you for the support of the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America. He will be here in a couple of hours. He's excited to be here. He's got a great history of coming here. Some of his all-time greatest speeches that have gone on for hours have been right here. He'll go out before the speech is expected to be 40 to 45 minutes. Comes out on stage, comes back 2 hours later. Doesn't go off. He goes off the teleprompter. It's let Trump be Trump. Speak clear and transparent to you, the American people. What you see is what you get. He's a great man. He's a great president. And there's so many stories I could tell. It's been a long journey. And speaking of journeys, President Trump oftentimes behind the scenes will say, "You are so lucky I took you on this journey." And Team Trump that is out there will know exactly what I'm saying, whether it's subpoenas, grand jury testimonies, indictments, out on the campaign trail, big victories, out on the golf course, state dinners, championship games, World Series, Super Bowl, on the plane, in the Oval Office, good times and bad times, no matter what the news cycle is out there, he would sit and say, "You are so lucky I took you on this journey." It's been the journey of a lifetime for me. I've been with President Trump for 32 years. I started caddying for him back when I was 15 years old. I caddied, I worked in the bag room, and this real estate mogul came up to Westchester County, New York, to buy a golf course. Pulls up in the limousine. I couldn't believe it. I went to high school. I was probably a sophomore. That Monday in school, you won't believe who I saw, who I met. The New York State real estate mogul and tycoon who redefined the New York City skyline, Donald J. Trump. And here we are 32 years later, and Mr. President, if you're watching, this has been one hell of a journey, the greatest journey of my lifetime. Thank you for having me. And by the way, thank you for joining us and supporting us, everybody out there, all great American patriots. We appreciate each and every one of you. We campaigned in a courthouse this past summer. We were all over the place. Literally, the campaign run out of the courthouse. Not only the courthouse, but we would be running around the country, barnstorming every state rather, seeing all of you out there campaigning. So much fake news out there, all of the leaks, all the defamation, all the BS that went on out there. He went out there, the indictments, everything, the lawfare. He went out there, and as he raised his hand in Butler, Pennsylvania, during that assassination attempt, and raised that fist and said, "Fight, fight, fight." That's exactly what he does behind the scenes every day. He could be out at Mar-a-Lago every day, golfing in Palm Beach, Florida, California, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia. But he'd rather choose to be out there and fight for putting America first and making America great again. His behind-the-scenes moments in the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, in the hospital, just to show you his mindset. The guy just got shot in the damn head. Somebody attempted to assassinate him. He's in the hospital, and I show him that iconic picture of him raising his fist. He goes, "Hey, Dan, how's it playing?" Sir, the entire world is wondering what's going on right now. How's everybody doing? How's the team doing? And myself and Susie Wiles and Stephen Chung and Walt Nauta were back with him. He cared about everybody else. He cared about his family. We're connecting him with Melania, Ivanka, Don Jr., Eric. He's speaking to them. How's it playing? I showed him that iconic photo. Doug Mills took it from the New York Times, great photographer. He stared at the picture, just stared at it. And he said, "How is Doug Mills doing? Is Doug okay? Call Doug and see if he's doing okay." That's his thought process with everything going on. He's just a fighter. He's truly, I call him like America's greatest host, because he's a great man, and everybody in the administration, the cabinet, and the people that spend those moments with him behind the scenes will understand, and they get what I'm saying. He just loves America. He loves people. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy, and the guy works his ass off from 5 in the morning till midnight. The guy barely sleeps, and trust me, I know from the phone calls and the messaging and things that we would put out on social media and platforms. But to be in the hospital with everything shot in the head, and he's worried about everybody else. A few hours later, we went wheels up. I believe we went back to New Jersey that evening. He was on the plane joking with all of us on the plane to make us feel, I mean, we were all, to this moment, to this day, and none of us will ever forget it. He cared about all of us on the plane, trying to make us all feel better and lift us up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your 47th President of the United States of America. I have hundreds of stories I could share with you. Let's talk about in Pennsylvania, when he got excited to go work at McDonald's, because that's where Kamala claimed to have worked. For 2 weeks, we heard about going to work at McDonald's. He was excited to go do it. And sure enough, you all saw in those viral videos and on the news, he was at McDonald's having a good time with that French fryer and the people driving through. I'll never forget that moment when we pulled in with thousands of people lining the streets. That was the night he also went to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. But the guy couldn't wait to get to McDonald's, and he knew that it was a big moment for us. And it was pretty damn awesome, was it not? McDonald's. Joe Biden, you guys are all garbage. Trump supporters are garbage. Oh, really, Joe? Garbage. We're going to Wisconsin. And the team, Justin Caparelli, give him a lot of credit with regards to being on the plane. We're heading out to Wisconsin, and he comes up and he says, Mr. President, we can have a garbage truck upon arrival on the tarmac. I mean, what a campaign. What a campaign. Oh, sir, and by the way, before we went wheels up, I have an orange vest for you to wear. If you want to wear it, you go wear it off the plane. Give me that vest. Let's put that vest on. He puts the vest on the plane. We're still flying. He's being brief. We're going to land. There's going to be a garbage truck upon our arrival. It's going to say Trump 2024 on it. And sure enough, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, we land the plane. We look out the window, and there's the garbage truck being escorted to the motorcade. And there's the president sitting with his orange vest on, just looking out the window like this. I mean, just total classic and priceless. He gets off the plane, he wears the vest into the garbage truck, right? Great moment. But then he wore it in the motorcade to the rally. Then we get to the rally, he meets Brett Favre, who endorsed him. Backstage, taking photos and clicks, laughs, good times, he's getting ready. We're feeling good because this election's coming up. Where's the garbage vest? Out onto the stage. And I don't know if you heard the stories of why he wore it, but he thought he looked rather trim in it. And then so he's sitting, looking in the mirror. I look rather thin in this. I look very trim. I look good. He wears the orange vest out. Hour and a half rally, comes off stage, walks back out. Time to get in the motorcade to go back to the plane, right? You take the vest off, right? He wears the orange vest into the motorcade. He said, I'm not taking this off till we get on the plane. He kept the vest on the entire time. That was a big moment for us when we were all garbage. It was like that deplorable moment. We're all sitting backstage saying, here's the moment. I could go on all day, but I don't have that much time left. We're very grateful for you. There's so many times that the president is just so grateful for the support he sees out there on social media. I mean, we won the election in an electoral landslide, swept all 7 swing states. And we not only have the 45th president and the 47th president of the United States, we got a great president who's going to put all of you first. He's going to fight, 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 and he's going to continue. And his legacy will go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. And together, everybody in this room, with your support, we're going to make America great again. God bless each and every one of you, and thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
An absolutely powerful speech from Dan Scavino Jr. just hours ago today at CPAC in National Harbor, Maryland. As you see at the bottom of the screen, awaiting President Trump and the First Lady at the National Governors Association dinner. So what we are waiting for here at the network is that live feed to come to us here at the network. Then, of course, we would put it up on the screen there and then show it to you in full, the entire event. So our hands indirectly are tied in a way. But we're waiting for that feed. As soon as we get it, we'll go to it here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. I did check a few other places where a feed could be, and it's not there because it's the same thing for all of us. It is a pool feed that will be showing the East Room of the White House for this dinner and reception. So just as you are here to watch that, I'm here to watch it with you. But we just don't have it yet from Washington, D.C. It's not been fed. It's not showing a live picture. I wish we could take a camera back into the control room and show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's just those color bars that says, White House on it, but there's nothing being shown. So talk about transparency, being very transparent, because I know you guys are here to watch that, and we're getting ready to go there as soon as they show us that feed. So in the meantime, it's 7:42. If you'd like to donate to Right Side Broadcasting Network, as of course, when we do have these live feeds and recorded feeds, it's all access to the White House, whether it is the East Room, the Oval Office, whether it's a press conference in the press briefing room, even at the Pentagon or the State Department or anywhere around the country and around the world. If you've been watching our coverage, we've been expanding outside of political news into breaking news as well. But definitely a focus always on the White House and what's going on there, as the leader of the free world, of course, is President Donald Trump. So if you'd like to donate at all to the network, all you have to do is text RSBN to 801-801. So just text RSBN to 801-801. All right, so we're going to shift gears. This is what we're going to do now. Obviously, this is a live picture at the White House. We're going to play the beginning and most of President Trump's speech from today at CPAC. Now, what we'll do is, as soon as we get the live feed, I'll come back on. I'll let you know that we have that live feed to the East Room, and we'll go to it. We'll watch it together and enjoy it here on this Saturday night, 7:43 Eastern, Saturday, February 22nd. Let's go to President Trump from the CPAC speech. I know most of you saw that, but it's always good to hear it again. Those of you that are just joining us that haven't heard it, here comes President Trump's speech from CPAC today. Powerful, great, fun speech. We'll go into that. And again, as soon as we see a live feed to the East Room, we will take you there as well. So let's go to CPAC for now. I'm Matthew Alvarez, if you'd like to follow on Truth Social. Also on RSBN, at RSBN, and on X, at RSB Network. So let's go to National Harbor, Maryland. And as soon as we get that feed, we'll go to the East Room of the White House.
This is a great honor. We've been doing this for literally half our marriage. It's been the greatest professional and personal privilege of our lives to be a part of the resurgence of America and the defense of freedom. And this year, we're so proud to say that because of all of your hard work, America is back on track. And at CPAC 2025, it is our honor to present to you your president and freedom's leader, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And a very special hello to CPAC. It's been a long time. We've loved being back, and it's hotter than ever. This place is packed. You got to see outside. They don't know what's happening. They have no idea what's happening. And a friend is here from Argentina, and a friend is here from Poland. Stand up. Great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the nation's capital, where our movement is thriving, fighting, winning, and dominating Washington like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like this before. They used to have little smaller crowds here. It's a little bigger. The fraudsters, liars, cheaters, globalists, and deep state bureaucrats are being sent packing. The illegal alien criminals are being sent home. We're draining the swamp, and we're restoring government by the people, for the people. For years, Washington was controlled by a sinister group of radical left Marxists, warmongers, and corrupt special interests who drained our wealth, attacked our liberties, obliterated our borders, and sucked our country dry. Not any longer. But on November 5th, we stood up to all the corrupt forces that were destroying America. We took away their power. We took away their confidence. They lost their confidence. You know, do you ever watch? They lost their confidence. Oh, it's so nice to watch. And we took back our country. And we must be doing something right, because we've got the highest poll numbers that I've ever had and that any Republican president has ever had. And our approval rating is now the highest ever across all demographics. Rasmussen just came out at 56%. Insider Advantage, 56%. RMG Research, 57%. And we have many polls in the mid-60s, one at 71%. We like that, 71. And according to YouGov, a big deal, 70% of Americans believe that what we are doing is right, and we are keeping our promises. That's all we're doing, when you think, is keeping our promises. That's all we had to do. And their promises weren't worthwhile to go and vote for. They loved men playing in women's sports, open borders, little things like that. But don't tell them. Don't tell them. Keep it quiet. We'll tell them about a week before the next election. Now keep it quiet. Let them think it's a great thing what they're doing. You saw Maine yesterday, right? The governor of Maine. She's fighting to keep men in women's sports. You ever see what happens to a woman when a woman boxes a man who transitioned to womanhood? Did you ever see what happens? It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Let her do that fight. Let them all do that fight. Because I think that's about a 90-10 issue, and I can't figure out who the 10% are. Nobody can. So today I want to say thank you to all of the incredible patriots of CPAC and all of the incredible patriots in our country. 77 million, and it's actually much more than that, because despite that, they cheated like hell. It was just too big to rig. It was too big to rig. 77 million. Remember, you used to go, I said, look, we're leading in the polls by a lot. Don't believe the polls. Just go and vote. You got to vote. We're going to make it too big to rig. And they tried, but it was too big to rig. One of the great statements. We love it because everybody went and voted. We fought through hell together, but in the end, we achieved the great liberation of America. We're liberating our country right now. We're doing all these things that you're reading about. We're liberating our country. I first spoke to this gathering 14 years ago, and I won your straw poll. I didn't know anything about a straw poll. They took this big straw poll, and I won by like 27 points. And I figured, you know, that's good. Maybe I should keep doing it, and I did. And I became president. Isn't that great? Who would think? Who would think? But he became president, too. He's a MAGA guy, too. Make Argentina great again, right? Make Argentina great again. I kept hearing about this man. I kept hearing about this man in beautiful Argentina, and it is beautiful, but boy, did it have inflation. Inflation made it less beautiful. I hear you're doing fantastically. We're very proud of you, actually. And make Argentina great again. Thank you very much. Great honor to have you. But now it's my honor to address you for the first time as your 47th President of the United States. Great honor. I want to begin by thanking Matt and Mercedes Schlapp for the incredible job they do, and everyone they put together. They put together an amazing team. The American Conservative Union for organizing this event. You have some big players here. Senator Ted Cruz, Eric Schmidt, Jim Banks of Indiana. Where's Eric? Where is Eric? Is it? Hello, Eric. You can see Eric anywhere. If he's right in the back of the room, he stands up. They're all good. These are great people. Representatives Riley Moore, James Comer, Harriet Hagerman, Byron Donalds. Our great Attorney General, she's going to be great, Pam Bondi. Where's Pam? I don't know where she is. So many people. So many people. Secretary Doug Burgum. Secretary Chris Wright. Oh, he's going to get that energy out of the ground. Secretary Scott Turner. Our next ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik, who just gave a great speech, by the way. A very good friend of mine. Is this guy central casting, though? Tom Homan. Is he central casting? Where is it? Hello, Tom. Are you? I love that. How could I love a guy like that? But I do. He's doing a great job. Thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Arkansas Governor Sarah Sanders. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. And Pennsylvania Attorney General Dave Sunday. I love that name. We're also honored to be joined by President Duda of Poland, who's a fantastic man and great friend of mine, and we got 84% of the Polish people that voted for her, so you must be doing something right, huh? Hanging out with Trump. And again, President Milei of Argentina, thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a great guy. And the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico. Robert, thank you, Robert. Thank you. Nice to see you. The leader of the UK Reform Party, who, by the way, did really well in that last election. I've been his friend for a long time, and I wasn't sure, am I supposed to be his friend or not? But it never mattered to me if he did well or not. I always liked him, but it's easier to like him when he got the kind of votes he got. He really took it by storm, and they say he's going to do even better this time. Nigel Farage. Where is Nigel? Thank you, Nigel. Thank you. What a great guy. The leader of Spain's Vox Party, Santiago Abascal. Thank you, Santiago. Thank you. Thank you very much. I thought that was you. Thank you very much. Great job you're doing. And a friend of mine, Eduardo Bolsonaro of Brazil, the Chamber of Deputies. Thank you. Thank you. Say hello to your father. Thank you very much. Great family. Great gentleman and a great family. And our great First Lady, Melania, is watching us right now on television. So give her a hand. Give her a hand. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, she's going to be happy. That's so nice. We love our First Lady. Everybody does. With the help of so many incredible supporters here today, we're going to forge a new and lasting political majority that will drive American politics for generations to come. I think we're going to do fantastically well in the midterms. You know, in theory, the one that wins the presidency does not do well in the midterms, but I think this is going to be a change. We're at a level, I don't think we've been at this level maybe ever as the Republican Party. We're a bigger, better, stronger party than ever before. More people in our party than ever before. But the people have given us a resounding mandate for dramatic change in Washington, and we are going to deliver it. We're going to use it, and we're going to make America great again by using it. So it's going to be something. But think of it, at the presidential level, we won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We swept all 7 swing states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, all by great margins. We won 85% of all of the counties in America. That means that map was red. Did you ever see the map? Did you see the certified map? Where is it? I want to see a certified map. It's all red. You can hardly find the blue. Think of this. They won 525 counties, and we won 2,600 counties. It's the biggest margin ever recorded. And incredibly, for the first time ever, all 50 states shifted toward the Republican Party. It's never happened before. So it was indeed too big to rig. We won the largest number of African American votes in Republican history, by far. We won the largest number of Hispanic American votes, any Republican ever. Hispanic Americans, we love you. The energy, the brilliance of Hispanic Americans. We won all of the cities and towns along the Texas border, whereas before I ran, we won none. We never used to win any. I got a call from our great governor of Texas who said, President, you just won every single town along the Texas border to Mexico. I said, oh, is that good? He said, it hasn't happened since Reconstruction. I said, define Reconstruction for me. He said, that means essentially the Civil War. That's a long time. But that was when I first heard about it, actually. Our party has become the proud voice of hardworking citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And I think one of the main reasons, not that we're conservative or not that we're anything else, we are the party of common sense. It's about common sense, right? It's all about common sense. Over the past month, we've confirmed an all-star team of warriors, patriots, visionaries, and put the America First agenda into action. I see Doug Burgum sitting right over there. I tell you, he was so good. I looked at him. I said, I got to have him here. I got to have him. He was a great governor. He's involved with a little thing called energy. He's got the Department of Interior, and Chris Wright has the Department of Energy. So Chris has no energy, and Doug has all of the energy. Chris has more interior, but he doesn't have. So I merged them. So now you have an energy guy, and you have the guy with all the energy, and you're going to drill, baby, drill, aren't you, huh? Drill, baby, drill. And Catherine, stand up. His wife is incredible. She is such an incredible woman. Incredible woman. You got very lucky, Doug. It's good to be successful, isn't it, Doug? She's an incredible woman. He's an incredible guy. In addition to the great cabinet secretaries we have here today, we confirm Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to end the woke insanity and rebuild our military. Pete is fantastic. Thank you. To stop the weaponization of federal law enforcement, I know about that, I think, better than any human being on earth. This week we swore in a new director of the FBI, somebody that everybody wanted, Kash Patel. Kash is great. He's a popular guy. He went through with the blessing of a lot of good people, too. I'll tell you, it was great. To end the politicalization of our intelligence agencies, we confirmed Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who is something very respected, highly respected. And to make America healthy again, we confirmed Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. Great guy. We need him. We need him. You know, there's a number on autism as an example with children, autism. And you go back 15 years, it was from 10 to 20,000. You had like 1 in 10 to 20,000. Some say 10, some say 20, but it was in that vicinity. That's a big vicinity. Now it's 1 in 36 babies have autism. 1 in 36. Think it was 1 in probably 20,000 people. Now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. Something's wrong, and Bobby is going to find it. Working with Dr. Oz, by the way. Working with Dr. Oz. Together, we've achieved more in 4 weeks than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We made a lot of progress. I heard O'Reilly last night say Donald Trump, for the first 4 weeks, is the greatest president ever in the history of our country. That was O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, he's all right. You know who he said second was? George Washington. That's not bad. I beat George Washington. I love beating George Washington. Thank you, Bill. On our first day in office, we declared a national emergency at our southern border. After years of politicians using our military to defend foreign borders while leaving our country defenseless and helpless, we deployed a group of people, active duty troops, to defend our border and repel the invasion of our country. This was an invasion. You know, we had a great first term, a really great first term, and I called it an invasion. And we had great numbers, but now we have the best numbers we've ever had. We've never had numbers like this. We've done it all in 4 weeks. Think of it. That was Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, the whole group. When day one, I ended catch and release. I reinstated remain in Mexico, and I signed an order that will end birthright citizenship for the children of illegal aliens. Because it wasn't meant for these children. It wasn't meant for people that escaped or invaded, came into our country illegally. It was meant for the children of slaves. Because when it was done, many, many years ago, it was during a very tough period in this country's history, and that was meant for the children of slaves. I wish people would understand that so they could get this thing approved and we don't have millions and millions of people coming into our country and they shouldn't be here. This week, I also canceled temporary protected status for migrants from Haiti. They're pouring into our country. Pouring in. If I weren't elected president, there'd be nobody in Haiti anymore. They were pouring in at levels from other countries too, all over Africa, the Congo, all over South America. And they were coming in from prisons and mental institutions and insane asylums, jails, and gang members. And you have to see gang members, drug lords, people that are drug addicted. They were sending them all into our ridiculous and very stupid Biden open border. Our border czar was Kamala. Haven't said that name in a while. I haven't said that name. No, I haven't said that name in a while. Kamala. I'll bet nobody knows her last name. Nobody ever knows her last name. Even during the campaign, you'd have to say Kamala. It's strange, you know, a little different name. Kamala, because her last name was Harris. I used to say Senator Harris. Nobody knew who the hell I was talking about. So I had to go Kamala. But think of it, I was beating Joe badly, really badly, and they changed him. I'm the only one that ever had to beat two people. I had to beat two. Had to beat two. We beat two. I didn't beat. You beat. You beat two people. No, he was doing badly. That's like the great Dana White. He has a fight, and one guy's doing really badly, so when they take him out, they put another guy in the fight, the same guy that's... I had that. Never happened before. A lot of things we do never happened before. Do you ever notice that? We're the first in everything. So we beat two candidates. They said, who do you run against? Well, we ran against Biden, and we ran against Kamala Harris. But illegal border crossings now have plummeted by almost 100%. The border czar never called the border, never called the great people of the border. They have unbelievable... I called them so much they couldn't take my calls. They hated me. But then they became to love me. You know why? Because the border people want to have great borders. But you have to call them on occasion. How are we doing today? Pete, how are we doing? You have to call. And we called the right guys. I became friends. You know, the Border Patrol endorsed me. And these people, you have no idea. They weren't supposed to, because you're not supposed to do that. I don't think you're allowed to do it. Actually, they did it anyway. They said, this is crazy. But these are great people, and ICE, and our general law enforcement, and by the way, our great, great firemen and firewomen, too. They were great. They all endorsed us. With the police, we got high 90s in terms of, and many of them were unionized, you know. We have a young lady who's right now going for the Department of Labor, and she tends to be a little bit on the slightly left of center. And everybody said, why did I do that? I said, you know why I did that? Because unions like her and labor likes her and a lot of people like her, and she's very solid, very strong, and she's going to do the right thing. But they all voted for us. They didn't vote for me, they voted for us. We got the Teamsters, we got the firefighters, we got the police, we got the auto workers, were so great. We had tremendous support, so I think it's nice to give them a person in the center, because that's what she's going to be very good, I think. But a lot of people say, why'd you do that? I said, because I want to do something nice for these people that voted for me. Oh, gee, what a great political move that was. Now they're all saying, what a great political move. No, it's all common sense. Remember that. Remember that. Sean O'Brien was fantastic. The whole group, they were great. Over the past few weeks, we've begun the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a very moderate man, but he was very strong on that. He didn't like people running into our country and taking over our country. I'll tell you, I had 4 years. I don't know if you had this. I couldn't stand it. Don't get angry. Donald, don't get angry, please. I couldn't stand it. Watching these people come in from jails and mental institutions and the worst criminals in the street, gang members being dropped off in buses and bussed into our country. I couldn't stand it. So I said, I'm going to run for president again. And now we don't have that problem. Now we don't have that problem anymore. We don't have that problem anymore. We now have the best border we've ever had. And by the way, if they can ever find my world's favorite chart ever in history, I'll show you what it was when I left. And now it's even slightly better. Can you drop that chart, do you think? I don't know. I never tell them about this, but they used to drop it like magic. If they can, they'll drop it. Who the hell knows? But it's my favorite chart. My favorite chart in history. We're liberating communities like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, that have been occupied by illegal alien criminals from all over the world. We're rescuing the Americans whose jobs have been stolen, whose wages have been robbed, and whose way of life has been absolutely destroyed. And under the Trump administration, our country will not be turned into a dumping ground. We're not going to do it. We're going to have a great country again. It's going to happen soon, a lot sooner than you think, and we're going to have so much money coming in from tariffs. Oh, you're going to say, your senators and your congressmen are going to say, please, sir, please, you're making us look so bad. We have so much money coming in. I didn't know this was going to happen. Please don't do this to us. We look very bad. But they're great. They're doing well. I tell you, the Republican senators they're sticking together. The Republican congressmen and women are sticking together. Every once in a while, you have one that wants a little action or something. I don't know what it is. It's so sad to see. I just hate to see it. I hate to see it. But they're sticking together. One thing about the Democrats, they have rotten, horrible policy, the worst policy in history, but they stick together. We have great policy, but sometimes they don't stick, but they've been sticking for us. They've been sticking. And I think the Speaker and the leader have done a fantastic job. That's Thune and Johnson, and I think they've done, two guys really working hard and they're really doing a great job. But we have a lot to stick with. We have a lot to stick together for, because what we've done has never been done before. Nobody's ever seen anything like this, and nobody's ever seen 4 weeks like we've had. Especially the 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks. You know, that's like if you golf, when you sink that first 4-footer in the first hole, it gives you confidence on the next hole. You sink another one. Now you go into that third hole and you can't, and by the time you get to the fifth hole, you feel you can't miss, right? Like a baseball player, he gets up and he hits our first one, and then the second at bat, he hits that one. And, you know, and we have great confidence, and they've lost their confidence, as I said. They've really lost their confidence. I watched them. They're really screwed up. I watched this MSNBC, which is a threat to democracy, actually. They're stone cold mean, but they're stuttering. They're all screwed up. They're all mentally screwed up. They don't know what. Their ratings have gone down the tubes. I don't even talk about CNN. CNN's sort of like, I don't know. They're pathetic, actually. But MSNBC was mean. Their ratings are absolutely down. This Rachel Maddow, what does she have? She's got nothing. Nothing. She took a sabbatical where she worked 1 day a week. They paid her a lot of money. She gets no ratings. I should go against her in the ratings, because I'll tell you, she gets no ratings. All she does is to talk about Trump, 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 Trump. All different subjects. Trump this, Trump that. But these people are really, I mean, they lie. They shouldn't be allowed to lie every night. They are really a vehicle of the Democrat Party. They should be paying. Is that Gordon? Yes, is that Gordon? The great Gordon Chang? Is that Gordon? Stand up, Gordon. Wow. We have everybody here today. Thank you very much. How am I doing on China? Am I doing good? Am I doing good on China? Tell you one thing, nobody's ever done like I've done on China. Nobody ever let people know what was happening with respect to China. And I happen to like President Xi, and I have tremendous respect for the people of China, love the people of China. But we've been treated very unfairly by China and many other countries. And we're not being unfairly treated anymore. We had that down to a science in the first term, and then they lost it. You know, we lost over $1 trillion to China this last year under Biden, Crooked Joe Biden. What do we like better, Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe? Ready? Ready? Crooked Joe or Sleepy? Ready? Crooked Joe. Sleepy Joe. Got to stay with Crooked. He had one ability that I didn't have. He could do something that I couldn't do. I don't say that because he was a horrible golfer. Remember, he challenged me during the debate to a golf match? He said, I'm a 6 handicap. I said, you're not a 36 handicap. He said he's a 6. And then he said, well, I'm 8. Remember? I said, that was quick. Picked up 2 strokes. He said, no, I'm an 8. But he's not a 36 handicap. But he had one ability that was amazing. He could go with cameras on him, television, fake news on him, probably because he knows they wouldn't cover it badly. You know, they covered him as well as you can cover him. How the hell can you cover the guy well? But he had this incredible ability. He could barely walk in the sand. Somebody thought he looked great in a bathing suit. And he'd walk in the sand pulling a thing that weighed about 6 ounces. You know those aluminum? See, aluminum's very good. You can, a child, it's meant for children and very old people to lift, right? So he would put it down, and he'd put it down, and he'd fall into it, and he'd immediately fall asleep in front of the media. I could never do that. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. I could never do it. No, he was Sleepy Joe, but he was crooked as hell. You know, there's no question. He was a sleepy, crooked guy. Terrible, terrible president. He was the worst president in the history of our country. I don't care. I'll say it. Jimmy Carter passed away recently, and he passed away a happy man. He was a happy man when he passed away because he said that it's not even close. Joe was the worst, and believe me, I have to clean up the mess. I'm cleaning up the mess, and it is a mess on the border with inflation. To go over every single thing he touched turned to shit, okay? Everything. It's true. It's true. That's true. Now Franklin Graham's angry at me. You know that. Franklin wrote me a letter. He said, I love your speeches. I love them so much. But they'd be better if you would never use foul language. And I told him, I said, Franklin, you know, Franklin Graham's a great guy, by the way, does a great job. The son of the great Billy Graham, right? But I said to Franklin, you know, sometimes you need it for emphasis. And he said, no, they'd be even better if you wouldn't use any bad language. That's not really a terrible word, you know. But that's a much more appropriate word, a better. What word would I use to describe? What word could I use? It's and we have to be truthful too. So you know, all countries are now taking their illegal aliens back, even those that stated strongly, "We will never take them back. Don't ever send them to us." But they said that during the Biden administration. They never said it during my administration. Venezuela's taking them back. Colombia's taking them back. Remember, Colombia said, we will not take them back, he said. And within about 13 minutes, I think, We would love to take them back. In fact, we will send our planes to pick them up. Remember? And they said, what happened? What happened? And you see these Venezuelan planes loaded up with some real nice people. You wouldn't have wanted to be the pilot on any of those planes. But they know we're not playing games, and just this week I officially designated bloodthirsty cartels and murderous gangs as foreign terrorist organizations, something which Biden didn't want to do and nobody wanted to do. It's true. The full might and power of the federal government will now be dedicated to eradicating MS-13, Tren de Aragua. That's the Venezuelan prison gangs. These are very nice fellows. The only thing good about them is they make our criminals look like nice people. It's true. Remember when they used to say, people that come in from foreign countries are nice people. These are wonderful people. These are good people. They're not murderers. They're not terrible. These people make us look like babies, okay? You know the Hells Angels? They're among the nicest people on earth when you compare them to these thugs. And the Hells Angels actually love our country, if you can believe that. They actually do. But their members and their leaders in the United States will be hunted down. I'm talking about MS-13. They're hunting them down. We removed tens of thousands, MS-13, Tren de Aragua, rooted out, arrested, and expelled from our soil like the savage monsters that they are. We don't have anybody coming up from Argentina. Nobody's coming up from Argentina to facilitate the mass removal of criminal aliens. I also issued an executive order to make available the full capacity and detention. We're going to use Guantanamo Bay. We have a detention facility that's actually massive. Nobody even knew it existed. Holds thousands of prisoners. We never used it. For 4 long years, you had a president who put illegal aliens up in penthouse suites in beautiful hotels on Park Avenue, on Madison Avenue, or on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Now you have a president who is stamping their ticket to Gitmo on a one-way trip back to the places from which they came. Wonderful places. Big difference. My administration is also moving swiftly to save the U.S. economy from the train wreck of inflation and worse that Joe Biden created. I withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. I terminated the Green New Scam. One of the greatest hoaxes ever played on this country is the Green New Scam. We spent trillions of dollars on this nonsense, and just a total hoax. It really set back our country, I want to tell you, monetarily and every other way. And I canceled Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, where everybody has to have an electric car. And if you want an electric car, get an electric car. If you want a gasoline-powered car, if you want to have a hybrid, you get it. The only thing you can't do is a hydrogen-powered car. You know why? They said it really works great, but when it doesn't work, you never find the body. That's a bad sign. You know, when it doesn't work, they found the body on a tree about 250 yards up the road. It's seriously bad. So we'll leave hydrogen out of it for a little while, I think, or maybe permanently. I'd say permanently. To crush inflation by slashing spending, I imposed an immediate federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, and a foreign aid freeze. We're given to countries that hate us. We're giving billions and billions of dollars to countries that hate us. And I signed an order creating the Department of Government Efficiency. You probably haven't heard of it, which is now waging war on government waste, fraud, and abuse. And Elon is doing a great job. He's doing a great job. We love Elon, don't we? It's that guy, he's a character. With his son X. We love X. He's the only one can get away. His son's really named X. He's the only one can get away with naming his son X. If we ever did it, they'd say, you're crazy. But he's great. He's doing a great job, and he doesn't need this either. He doesn't need it, but he wants to see, he's a patriot. People said, well, what official position does he have? I said, patriot. Oh, they didn't know. They said, that was good. He's a patriot. Here are some of the flagrant scams that, as an example, they've spent money on and we've been able to recapture for a large dose of it at least. $520 million for a consultant to, think of it, $520 million. $520 million. When I hire consultants and they just take advantage of me, it's a horrible thing to watch. And I give them $25,000. I feel I'm overpaying. These guys got $520 million. Environmental, social, governance, and investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and socially responsible behavior in Colombia. This is Colombia, South America, not Columbia University. Of course, that might be worse, actually, based on their actions. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows where. Who are they? Where do they come from? Just sedentary migrants. Nobody even knows what a sedentary migrant is. If they were sedentary, they wouldn't be a migrant, right? They wouldn't move. No, they wouldn't move. They'd stay in the same place. Right, Doug? $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcisions. Why are we going to Mozambique to do circumcisions? It's a lot of money. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. Here's a beauty. $486 million to a consortium of elections and political process strengthening ideas, of which $22 million goes to inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova. $29 million goes to strengthen the political landscape and help them out so that they can vote for a radical left communist in Bangladesh. You had to see who they supported. You wouldn't believe, yeah, you would believe it. Nobody in this room would be in that group. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $18 million for helping India with its elections. Why the hell? Why don't we just go to all paper ballots? Let them help us with their elections, right? Voter ID. Wouldn't that be nice? We're giving money to India for elections. They don't need money. They take advantage of us pretty good. One of the highest tariff nations in the world. We try and sell something, they have a 200% tariff, and then we're giving them a lot of money to help them with their election. $32 million for the Prague Civil Society Center. $14 million for social cohesion in Liberia. $9.7 million to develop a cohort Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. Think of that. Millions of dollars for sex change operations in Guatemala. $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. They put on a little play on the street. $20 million. You could do it on Broadway and have $19 million left over. No, it's a scam. They get kickbacks and all sorts of things. It's a scam. Who ever heard of it? Think of it, $20 million Sesame Street, a play. We're also uncovering outrageous incompetence and fraud in the Social Security. We have, look, let's assume that people, generally speaking, in our case, and everybody in this room, we're going to all live way over 100, but this is a little ridiculous because not too many people are going over 100. Everybody, hopefully, in this room will. But there are in the Social Security ranks and files. And what we're doing now is finding out, do they get paid? Do they get paid? In other words, is somebody taking all of this money? So they have over 100 to 109, 4.7 million Social Security numbers. Think of that, from people whose age is over 100. 3.6 million people whose age is over 110 years. 3.47 million people who are over 120 years of age. 3.9 million people whose age goes from 130 to 139 years of age. 3.5 million whose age goes from 140 to 149 years old. 1.3, see, it's coming.
Okay, sorry to interrupt the earlier today speech from the president. It's 8:30. We're finally getting that live feed from the East Room of the White House, so this is what you can do. If you want to watch the rest of that speech from President Trump, just go on Rumble, check it out. It's on there. But let's go now live to the East Room of the White House for this dinner. All right, and as the producer just said in the air, well, let's just keep going then. So that is a feed that we're getting right there, as you see. As soon as that starts to roll, we'll go to that live. So you're looking at the White House at this point, and of course, thank you so much for joining us here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. This will be the National Governors Association evening dinner and reception. So there are Republican governors there, there are Democrat governors there. We all know one governor that most likely won't be, of course, out of Maine after that awesome situation the other day where President Trump kind of put her in line when it comes to no men and women's sports. If you missed any of that, you could check that out on Rumble as well. But also, so we're looking like we're getting the feed there to the East Room of the White House for the National Governors Association evening dinner and reception. So President Trump earlier on Truth Social saying Melania and I are looking forward to dinner tonight at the White House with our nation's governors, both Republican and Democrat. Maybe this will be the start of unity for our nation. It will be interesting and fun. So again, those of you just joining us right now, of course, we were replaying President Trump's speech from CPAC earlier today. And if you'd like to see that speech in full, maybe after tonight's live broadcast here, you can always watch that on Rumble, YouTube, or wherever you watch Right Side Broadcasting Network. It was a really great speech today. So many awesome people speaking, from President Trump to the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, to Dan Scavino Jr. and others. Quite the day at CPAC there. Of course, awesome coverage by our RSBN hosts, Robert McNeely, Christina Loren, Ashley Brassfield. And now continuing on this Saturday, February 22nd, 8:33 Eastern Time. And we're going to spend some time together, and we're going to go to the East Room and watch that at any moment while the First Lady and the President are there for this dinner reception with the National Governors Association evening dinner and reception. So, yeah, as soon as we get that rocking and rolling, we'll be going there. Just imagine being in my seat right now as we are trying to tap dance at this point. We thought we had that feed, and it stopped for some reason. So as soon as we get that back, we'll throw it right back to it. But I can tell you, of course, we are 33 days into the presidency. 75 executive orders signed, all connected to campaign promises. I was watching some of you guys, your chats on Rumble and YouTube, and seeing a lot of great things on there as well. So a lot of shout outs and a lot of just positive vibes on the chat tonight. So when you might think we're not looking, we're actually watching and seeing you guys. So hello to all of you guys on there watching this live stream here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Also, coming up next week on Wednesday, President Trump has his first cabinet meeting. It's going to be great to see that. You can catch that here on Right Side. And then on March 4th, he'll speak to a joint session of Congress. Another great moment in time here as we cover all of these great experiences and moments, but also, of course, these executive orders and seeing things get done for our country at that historic speed and strength that we're seeing throughout the nation, including along that southern border. I mean, we're talking about 5,000 of our military service members down there along the border, basically taking care of business. I mean, President Trump said today that the border is closed. And, we follow his lead when it comes to that because he knows specifically what's going on. And they also shared some stats with us, as you guys might have heard, in a 24-hour time span, 229 illegal immigrants tried to cross the border. That compares to a 24-hour time span per day on average. With Biden, there were about 11,000 crossings. So it's down to 229. That number is going even further down. So yeah, a lot of things getting taken care of every day with this White House. So what a time to be alive, guys. What a time to be alive on this Saturday, February 22nd, as we continue to move forward, as this is only 33 days into President Trump's second administration. So I can tell you, I did see some of the various video clips as we were working to get this fed to you guys so you guys could watch it. President Trump is in a bow tie tonight. So it will be quite awesome to see the president there with the First Lady. And again, once that starts, we'll have that for you from start to finish, the entire event there at the East Room of the White House. We've seen the East Room a lot in the past month of this presidency, from foreign leaders meeting with the president, or how about when he signed various bills into law? The first one, of course, the Laken Riley Act. And then what about when he signed the executive order about no men and women's sports? I mean, the East Room is a great spot to have a lot of things taken care of for our country. Of course, the Oval Office is that primo #1 spot right now, and because that's where the leader of the free world sits, and it's great to see that access that we have here at the network as well, whenever the president is signing various executive orders or even holding a press conference, or I believe it was Howard Lutnick the other day getting sworn in. It was in the Oval Office. So pretty awesome to see Kash Patel as well getting sworn in within Washington, D.C. there as the director of the FBI. If you missed any of that, you can always check it out. So it looks like we have something there. Let's go to the East Room of the White House.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have you at the White House, special place. This is a beautiful evening. It's an evening I always look forward to. And welcome to the most important house, I think, anywhere in the world. No matter where you go, there's nothing like it. And this is America's governors and spouses. And someday, somebody sitting in this room is probably going to be here for 4 or 8 years. We don't know who it is. I have some suspicions, but you never know, right? You never know, as the expression goes. But it's a great honor to have you. It is an incredible place. And let me begin by expressing our gratitude to the First Lady of the United States for hosting the dinner. She worked very hard on making sure everything was beautiful, and she's very good at that. Thank you very much. You know, it's time flies, and I just realized this is the 5th Governor's Ball that Melania and I have hosted, and thank you for doing such a great job. I mean, really great, really beautiful. Made the evening beautiful. We have many new faces among the governors from our new administration, and we have a lot of people that have been just newly sworn in, and we have them with us tonight. And also we have some people that I've become very close to, Vice President Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance. I want to thank you very much. What a great start you've gotten off to. You've gotten off to a great start. Thank you very much, JD. Really amazing. Usha, thank you very much. Really amazing job. Congratulations as well to the 8 new governors attending tonight. And would you please stand up? We have 8 brand new, beautiful governors. Good. That's great. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a good-looking group. I'm fortunate to have some of your most outstanding former colleagues as members of my team, and they're doing an incredible job, including former Governor of North Dakota, Doug. Where's Doug? Doug Burgum. And Catherine. Thank you. And he's looking for that energy along with Chris, isn't he, huh? And former Governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, who's doing an incredible job, too. Thank you, Kristi. Great job. Thank you, Kristi. Great job. The governors and president have really a special bond because we're all executives and we have to get the job done for the people, and you're doing the job and I'm doing the job and we're working together, and my numbers right in your wallets and right on your person, because I am open to anybody, Republican or Democrat. If we can help, you're going to call me up and we'll take care of it. You'll call the secretaries, you'll call the cabinet members, but if they don't do the job, and I think they will, you'll call me and we'll take care of it. And that's Republican or Democrat, and I'll take maybe the Democrat call even first. How about that? Can I say that? And I have a tremendous respect for the burdens that you bear, overseeing state police forces, directing disaster relief efforts, fighting for jobs and businesses, and so much more. And what we're going to do is a little bit different than we've ever done this before. We're going to ask you, if you want, you don't have to, you know, it's a beautiful, elegant evening. We can sometimes make it unelegant by doing this, but it's always interesting. If you'd like, you get up and either ask a question or make a statement. And ideally, it's going to be a statement of unity, maybe for tonight. But whether it is or not, we don't care. We've been through it all, right, Ron?
You mentioned unity, and I know you met with the LIV and PGA.
That's
right.
right.
Going to be able to bring golf back together?
Well, that's an interesting question. He's a very good golfer, and he asked that question. I think there's a good chance that we'll do that. I do. I think there's a very good chance, and it should be together. So that's an interesting question for you to ask. So we're going to ask if you want to get up and say something as we progress. This evening, we're not Democrats or Republicans. We're America's chief executives, and together we have to make our country run and run properly. We'd love your cooperation on energy, and we have some of the greatest energy people in the world in this room tonight, and they're working for the administration. Chris is here someplace. Where is Chris? Chris, thank you very much. Everybody knows him. They couldn't believe that we got you, but he gave up a lot to do this, and he said to be the best anywhere in the world, so thank you very much. We appreciate it very much, Chris. We also want your assistance on public safety, especially removing foreign terrorist organizations from America, removing some really bad guys and bad people from America, and we're going to get them out for you. We'll be doing you a big service, and we'll get them out. We're bringing them back to the states where they came from. We don't have one country that says no. We had a lot of them that said no, but that was lasted about 2 hours, and all of a sudden they were all saying yes. But we'll get them back, and we'll get them out, and we'll make your state a lot safer. And on deregulation, we'll be creating maximum deregulation and maximum numbers of jobs, and I think it has a lot to do. One has a lot to do with the other. I want you all to succeed so that our country will succeed, and I'm always just a phone call away. By special coincidence, this evening marks the 293rd birthday of our first president, George Washington, whose portrait hangs in the East Room. And the father of our country was a great general. He was unmatched, really, as a general up till that time. And he was also a great executive and a true statesman. George Washington, by force of will and determination, he was also the ultimate national unifier. He was a great unifier. In fact, he could have stayed longer. They wanted him to stay longer, and he said, no, we don't want to do that. We want everybody to have a chance. We don't want to. He was very, very popular, and he refused to stay longer. And that in itself was possibly at the early stages of government a very important fact. In his farewell address, George Washington counseled Americans that our shared national identity under one great political union is, quote, the main pillar in the edifice of our real independence, the support of our tranquility at home, our peace abroad, our safety, our prosperity, and that very liberty which we so highly prize. Beautiful words. We don't use words like that much nowadays, do we, huh? I don't know what happened. We should be able to start. The elected leaders in this room are the living embodiment of the union to which President Washington referred. You're really doing a fantastic job. I won't say, because the press is up there going crazy tonight, but I won't say how good some of the Democrats are, but some of you are doing a really good job. Others are doing good, and some I'm not so sure about. But you do. You have some very great talent on the other side, I have to say, and we all appreciate it and we respect it greatly. So tonight, let us all recommit ourselves to strengthening America, making it something even more special than it has been. And we're going to be one united nation, and maybe together this is going to be the evening that we start uniting. We're going to unite. We're going to hold each other close, and we're going to fight for our country. And I want to just make a comment that we have a very special room that most of you haven't seen, and some of you might have been here with me the last time we were together, which was actually 5 years ago. Can you believe it? I missed you for 4 years very, very badly. That was a long journey back, Melania, wasn't it? It was a long, tough, that was a nasty journey. Don't ever try it. But it is unique. But it was a long journey, a long, nasty journey. But here we are, and we're going to do things that hopefully nobody else has really been able to do. But we have a room called the Lincoln Bedroom. I think it's like maybe, to me, the most important room in the whole country, the most important bedroom, definitely. And it's incredible just the way he left it. And he was Abraham Lincoln, after all. And we have it upstairs. And right after we're finished with the meal, I'm going to take whatever group wants to go up. We can handle quite a few. We walk up the stairway, the big, beautiful, grand stairway. And at the top of that stairway is the Lincoln Bedroom and the Treaty Room, where we signed virtually every land acquisition. And we are looking at a few of them, by the way, just in case you're not... We're looking at a few. I won't name them tonight, but I think we know what we're talking about, maybe more than we even think. But we'll meet here right after the end of the meal, and we'll walk up together, and you'll see something that actually is really amazing and real history with the Treaty Room and the yellow oval. It's a room that was copied by the Oval Office 1/4 of an inch. Taft wanted it to be exactly that way. It was more than 100 years younger than the Oval Office, and the Oval Office is younger. And when they built it, they loved the room that you'll see upstairs so much, and it's almost an exact copy. The Oval Office is almost an exact copy. And you'll see some things that are really, really interesting. And again, as we progress tonight, if you feel like it, just come up. We're going to leave the mic on, which is usually a mistake. That's usually not a good thing, but we're going to leave the mic on, and you may ask a question, or you'll make a statement. And I'd like to ask Scott Turner, who's our Secretary of HUD. He's a great young man, and he's a tremendous talent. And I'd like to ask you to say grace. Thank you, Scott. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Let's pray together. Father, we're so grateful to have this opportunity to gather together, Father, for such a time as this, Lord. Father, we thank you for President Trump. Lord God, we thank you for the First Lady. We thank you for Vice President Vance and the Second Lady. Lord God, I pray that you will be an iron dome of protection around them and their families. Lord God, we thank you that you are a sovereign Father and you're a good, good Father. And tonight, Father God, I thank you for the governors that have gathered here. Lord, thank you for their service. I pray you will give them wisdom and clarity and understanding. God, I pray you will be with them and their families. Lord God, I pray and thank you for my colleagues in the cabinet, Father God, that are here tonight. Lord God, we know that you have ordained this time before the foundations of the world. And Lord God, we thank you. Father, we thank you tonight that as we gather and as we fellowship, Lord Jesus, that you would be glorified. And Father, as President Trump, Father, as the leader of this nation, Lord God, as he every day Father God, leads and serves. Father, I pray that you would give him great favor. God, I pray that you would open his eyes to see like he's never seen before, that you would open up his ears to hear your voice. And Father God, you would give him divine insight and divine, Father God, just wisdom as he leads and serves this country. And Lord, tonight we pray that the joy of the Lord would be our strength, because we are happy tonight because you saw fit to bring us together. We love you. We honor you. And Lord, thank you for this food that we shall receive. I pray you would bless it to nourish our bodies, that we may build your kingdom. And bless the hands that prepared it and those that will serve it. We give you the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There is no audio being fed right now from our pool affiliate there. So that's the only reason why I'm on the screen. You can see that's the end of the feed right there. So that is what we saw there, the remarks from President Trump at this National Governors Association evening dinner and reception. Obviously a beautiful, gorgeous night there at the East Room. Again, if you are just joining us and you want to see more, well, at the end of the day, you have to scrub back on Rumble or YouTube or on X, wherever you're watching, because that's the feed that we received here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. It's the same feed that any other network received tonight. And trust me, I'd love to see more. I'd love to see more interactions and all that, but that was the feed from there. So at least we had that great speech there by the president, some nice remarks. Looking quite awesome in the tuxedo, of course. And also Governor Ron DeSantis asking the president a question to the president's right and asking about LIV Golf and the PGA, if there's going to be a merger. And President Trump was laughing about that question there. But as of now, that's the latest that we have from the East Room of the White House. Again, any network you can, trust me, I've checked too. But we always get those full feeds here, whether it's a 5-minute feed or a 5-hour feed. We bring it to you live on Right Side Broadcasting Network. So again, if you missed it, if you just joined us, all you have to do is scrub back a bit. You can see the president's speech. He spoke for about 10 to 12 minutes, so you'll be able to hear that in its entirety. Also, if you missed any CPAC coverage from earlier today, we've got plenty of clips on Rumble and on YouTube and elsewhere. So again, thank you so much for watching, staying up with us on this Saturday, February 22nd, 8:53 Eastern Time. Quite an awesome event there. Again, if there is any more feed happening, we're not told there is, that would be it. But if for some reason there is more from the East Room, we will post that on Rumble, on YouTube. But as of right now, it looks like that is our feed for the night. They're live from Washington, D.C. Of course, that video was just moments ago from the White House. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is all brought to you by a number of great sponsors, including MyPillow, so mypillow.com/RSBN. If you just go there, you can purchase anything you'd like. There's more than 2,000 products on mypillow.com/RSBN. If you'd like to donate to Right Side, just text RSBN to 801-801. 33 days into this great presidency, and there are 75 executive orders, all based in all of those campaign trail speeches. So those promises made, promises kept. We're monitoring it here at the network. A lot to come here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. For all of us here at RSBN, I'm Matthew Alvarez. Have a great Saturday night, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow. As of right now, no programming. The president's schedule just came out and said there are no public appearances. So as of right now, we'll be seeing you on Monday. In the meantime, Truth Social, X, our website. Check us out on all of our social platforms. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll see you later.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Families across the nation have arrived at a heartbreaking crossroad to surrender their beloved animals at alarming rates due to inflation and soaring costs of living.
There are so many overcrowded shelters. So many dogs need a home, but it's all of us working together to solve this crisis.
This fight requires both doers and dollars. Join us at Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Please sign up today.